You have the new Nokia Lumia 830 out here. This is one of the last phones that Nokia per se made before Microsoft removed the Nokia name before Lumia and then created the Microsoft Lumia 535. So the Nokia Lumia 830 is a mid-range device. It costs just about 28,000. Just maybe a couple of hundred plus minus. We don't have the review box out here, but rest assured you would get your earphones, charger, the phone back, of course, and then the manuals out there. So we have the hardware. We'll straight away go to the hardware, and you see it's a 5-inch device. It's quite heavy, actually 150 gram, but it mainly is heavy due to the metal construction on the side out here, which actually gives the phone a very durable chassis, and also it feels very premium, and unlike the plastic 730. And also it's almost, I guess, 8.5 mm thick, so definitely not the thinnest blade kind of a phone. 5-inch screen and HD resolution, that meaning 720 by 1280 pixels. It's a clear black, which meaning that it will have very dark black IPS LCD screen, and it's protected by Gorilla Glass 3. I like the device. It's just that on the heavier side, but it very nice to hold. So above the screen you have the 0.9 MP front focus camera that records at front camera. Basically it's a fixed focus camera that records at 720p, and it also has a maximum aperture of f/2.4. You have your earpiece and then sensors. Below you have the typical Lumia shortcut keys. You can see not much on the left side, not much here as well. You have the hole to open the back flap. The back flap can be removed on this phone. Hardware, in a camera key, your power key, and the volume rocker. On top you have the 3.5mm jack and the micro USB 2.0 port. Behind you have the 10 MP autofocus pure view Zeiss lens camera. It has a maximum aperture of f/2.2, and it's a 26 mm lens, mind you. The sensor size is 1/3.4 inches. It's quite small actually. It's accompanied by an LED flash, a Nokia branding, and then your speaker grill that just about situated where the screen, where the back starts to curve in a bit, so that might reduce the prevention of the audio whenever you keep it on a flat surface. We'll see how that impact. Anyway, so you can open the back flap out here, and it's a pretty tough back flap with lots of nodes, see. And then inside you have the 2200 mAh battery, and then your micro SD card slot and a nano SIM card slot out here. So overall we like the design and build quality of the 830, and I think it's a very beautiful phone. But I strongly suggest you check out one of those other vibrant colors that come in this, namely the orange one, and then you also have, I guess, a blue one, white, black, and a lot of those stuffs. I specifically like the orange ones because generally you would see the in case of the 830 the side matching the back, but the orange one has orange on the back and silver on the side, and that gives a very premium look, and it actually matches the look of the 930. So I like the orange color more. So let's talk about the display now. Let's say on the lock screen, sleep screen rather, you'd see the time and whether you have any notification, the typical Windows phone kind of an unlock screen. And then we always love the Nokia Lumia displays. Even if they are low res, they're not always your like highest resolution screens, but then generally by default you get this background. You also have, sorry about that, you also have the plain and the plain backgrounds of the default apps that actually makes the icon and the screen look that much brighter despite of having a low res resolution. And if you make it white, but still it's like it's one color, so in solid color you don't see that much from a distance. But if you like go really close, you might just be able to see some pixelation, but that will be very insignificant. You'll have to really try so hard. And we're just gonna go and check out some of the pictures that we took with the Lumia. We could take some great pictures with the Lumia. Great camera. We'll come back to the camera just in a bit. There you see the display is quite good. The saturation, it like renders the colors really well, and the viewing angle is just about okay, nothing great. So overall a decent display, although nothing much to write home about. Now the Nokia Lumia 830 runs Windows Phone 8.1 and with Lumia Denim update. And again, talk about the specs. This guy is powered by a Snapdragon 400 chipset, 1.2 GHz quad-core CPU, 1 GB of RAM. You get 16 GB built-in memory. You can also extend it via the microSD card to an additional 128 GB. 128 GB support on a microSD card is not on many devices, so it's really good about that. And so you get the typical lifestyles, and then you can go to any of them just by clicking this, or you can just maybe just reduce the size. From there you can also remove it, you can also bring it back, and then you have the notification out here, only 4, and then you have your app drawer. You have lots of apps this time. You have a lot of popular third-party apps like Facebook and Flipboard and stuff, and also a lot of Nokia apps like Here Map, Here Drive. I absolutely love the Here apps, by the way. And you also have Cortana, but unfortunately Cortana does not run here in India. If you're in the US or Europe, I think Cortana runs out there. So we're gonna go ahead and straight away go to the camera. And that's your 10 MP pure view camera. And although denim is supposed to make this shutter lag much less, I guess it's just making it lag, but it's not exactly zero lag. So there was one of the update of Lumia Denim, and then you also get the burst mode now. 10 shots, and then you can straight away start recording the video right from there. You cannot take still out there. So you can, from here you can straight away switch to your front and back camera out there, and then your video light, LED light, and then some of the lenses out here, and then you have your flash settings. And then when you go here, you would get some of the photo and video settings. You see. So one important thing to note here is that as you can keep the aspect ratio in 16:9 because it's a true widescreen or 16:9 aspect ratio sensor. So even when you put the aspect ratio to 16:9, your maximum photo resolution would be the same 10 MP, and it won't reduce, because generally you must have observed that whenever you go to widescreen, because the sensors are generally of an aspect ratio of 4:3 by default, your maximum resolution reduces to a much lower resolution, and the max resolution only generally can be attained by having the aspect ratio at 4:3, but not in this case. In this case, a true widescreen sensor, so you can have 16:9 and still get the maximum resolution. That's a great thing. Now, talking about the photo and video, we've always liked the Lumia quality, and it's nothing less here. On the enough light, the photos are amazingly detailed. Although the sensor size is pretty small, but then the relatively fast f/2.2 aperture makes low light captures that much easier. So under low light we could shoot even some firecrackers, and those actually became really decent. One of the great things, I want to show you that camera again, is that you can actually adjust the shutter speed and other things if you go to one of the other apps called, I guess, Nokia Camera. So here there are some advanced settings you can see where you can, so where you can go to, let's say here, focus, you can go to autofocus, manual, and then infinite focus in case you're shooting some landscape and stuff. And then you can also select your WB and out there your exposure compensation scale, and that's your shutter speed. Boy, you can adjust your shutter speed. And while at night, while we were shooting the firecrackers, we wanted to bring out that trail of the firecrackers, so we really reduced the shutter speed to 4 seconds. We put this phone on a tripod and actually gave us some great shot too. So a great low light camera, and under enough light, the details are absolutely fine. Even if you like zoom it to 100%, you do not see many artifacts, although there are noise. Under low light, yeah, you do see artifact, the details drop down drastically, but that's mainly due to the small size sensor more than anything else. So even the stabilization on the software level is quite decent actually. The saturation and hue are very natural. There were no oversaturation of the red or the orange palette, so we like that as well. Plus the videos are also quite good, and they almost go the same. There are no fuzziness. They're not extremely sharp, but there are no fuzziness at all, and there are no softness towards the corner also. At times under low light there might be some softness, but that's again expected. So first thing first, the sound does not get obstructed whenever you place this device on a flat surface, so that's a good thing. Second thing, the bass is very flat. Almost to a screechy level, but the sound output via speakers is loud enough. It's very loud even for the crowded places, I suppose, but the bass is simply not there. We'll just go and try to see a video and see how it goes.
You guys, did you see that? I just was like, what?
The surround sound is more than decent. The vocals are good, but again that bass is missing.
Received a message. From the universe? From the messenger. Oh, yeah, of course. Our greatest masters are disappearing. I fear this is the work of Lord Hand, who has unleashed a new...
Also, I think it's just digitally enhancing the mid-range just a bit, that vocal range, so you can see the voice coming out not that natural.
kind of threat on our world. This could mean the end of Kung Fu. But I just got Kung Fu! And now...
You see, the voice modulations, the voices are coming out just as if slightly processed.
You must save it. Take the 5. It is time for the next phase of your journey. My fist hungers for justice.
So the music and video quality, we find it quite decent, loud enough, but then via speakers the bass is not there. Via the earphones the bass becomes much better though. So we have Internet Explorer as a default browser, of course, and we did an HTML5 test, scores 372 out of 555, which is just about average. I'm not gonna go too deep into the settings and all because you already must have known it in zillion Windows Phone devices. Your gallery out here, they all are arranged in stack, the images and the videos. You can go to images, you can open it in this many apps. I like PixArt, although it's a third-party app, it comes preloaded with the ROM. I like it because it gives you a hell lot of options. So I kind of really like it, but you can of course explore the other ones to see how they are, and you might just get some effect like this, or maybe even better. So I got still one effect somewhere. So these, see the effects out there, and they are really good. You can also see the bokeh. You can also see how shallow depth of field the lens makes it, which is really good. You see out there, very nice round bokeh. Yeah, although the detail is missing, but then I really love, so I focused in here. So brilliant camera actually. That should be one of the shining star in this phone. Yeah, your usual settings are there, our data sense and storage sense and Wi-Fi sense and whatnot. And then I'll straight away go to where is our about device. I'll go here, and you can see in more info the OS version and all those stuffs. So it's extremely smooth like all Windows devices because it's a proprietary software. So Microsoft actually in collaboration with Nokia makes it absolutely, you know, greatly integrated with the hardware. So it almost never lag. We have never seen any lag on a Lumia devices. Some of the other things are the dialer, which is very big and nice. Also the keypad, and you can actually straight away block number out of box. You do not need to install a separate blocking app like your Android devices. And I love that keyboard also. It does not support swipe, but it actually is quite smooth and almost with no lag whatsoever. Let's see. It actually makes very fast, and here it becomes even better. So should you get the Nokia Lumia 830? Well, if you're a Windows fan and if you cannot afford the 930, definitely 830 is the latest and greatest after the 930, of course. And the 930 is almost, I guess about 10,000 even more expensive. So 28 is not cheap, and you almost get to the Nexus 5 territory there. So for Android lovers, I would say Nexus 5 is a great deal. If you spend about 4K more, you get the Lenovo Vibe Z2 Pro, which is a mind-blowing 6-inch device. But if you want to stick to the 28 categories, so you have Samsung Galaxy S5 Mini, which is also a great thing also. And there are some others like the Oppo N1 Mini, which has a rotatable camera. You get a 0.9 MP front camera here. You get the same 13 MP back camera, bring it to front on the Oppo N1 Mini. If you're a selfie, Oppo N1 Mini hands down any day. However, there are a few advantages the Lumia 830 offers. Number one is that you get the Microsoft apps that are fully compatible with their desktop apps. For example, Microsoft Office here, you won't face any compatibility issue. In Android, you need to install third-party apps and hope they are compatible. They mostly are compatible, but then if the Office updates out there, the third-party developers also will have to keep pace with that. Number two is the pure view cameras are excellent. They are some of the best in the industry, and this one is no less. So if you like camera photography, then 830 offers a great deal. It's actually slightly better than the one on the Oppo N1 Mini, I would say, and definitely better than the S5 Mini. So this camera is great even for low light photography where the smartphones fails miserably generally. And number three is the lag. If you're tired of the lag on the Android phones, almost all Android phone lags, even my Note 3 lags. Because mainly because the manufacturers try to give their skin on top of the default Android, which actually makes the ROM pretty slow because they have lots of background apps running and all those shit. But Windows Phone almost never lag until you deliberately try to crash the system. So that's where also the 830 will be very smooth. Plus it also has a metal bezel, so even if this guy falls on its side, you might have scratches here and there, but you have less chances of the inner housing or the screen damaging. So I guess 28,000 is slightly overpriced. I would have loved it for about 24K, but still it's a decent buy. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything related to this phone, and we'll try to answer them all. And please subscribe to our channel for more such good videos like this in future. Thank you.